Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions, and thank you again so much for our time together. I want us to look at a very negative subject today, probably the most negative subject I know of, and that's the devil. I don't like to talk about him, but sometimes we just need to understand what he's really like and how he really works. In Revelation chapter 12, we're given some clues into his work. Beginning in verse 7, it says, "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but they were not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven." The first thing I want you to see about Satan today is he does fight back. Let me say that again. Satan does fight back. Even though he knows he cannot win, even though he is a defeated foe, Satan fights back. Now some of you live in this naive la-la land of Christianity that somehow thinks that anything you do that's the will of God is going to be easy because God just makes it happen and there's nothing that can stand in the way of God. That's true. God will make it happen, and nothing can stand in the way of God, and God does open a door that no man can close. Yes, I agree with all that. But Satan does fight back. So sometimes when you have a few challenges in doing God's plan for your life, just understand, and there is still some opposition out there. Satan does fight back. The other thing I want you to notice is he's the accuser of the brethren. You get down to verse 10. "For the accuser of our brothers, who accuses them before our God day and night, has been hurled down." That's all Satan does. He has the biggest mouth you ever saw in your whole life. This guy accuses us before the Father day and night. 24/7, Satan never shuts up. He is a motor mouth. We could call him, I wouldn't call him brother, but I would call him the demonic radio. He doesn't ever stop talking. You say, well, Pastor, that must be horribly discouraging for the Father to listen to him say negative things about us all day. No, this is why I teach you every year during Good Friday teaching, that the blood of Jesus, the sprinkled blood of Jesus that has been sprinkled at the throne of God, speaks louder than anything Satan could ever say. Satan stands there talking all day and all night, but he is drowned out by the blood of Jesus, shouting, "Justified, sanctified, cleansed by the blood, forgiven." Satan is the accuser, but the blood, the sprinkled blood before the throne, speaks louder. Another thing I want you to see is his incredible hatred of Israel. It says in verse 13, "When the dragon saw that he had been hurled to the earth, he pursued the woman who had given birth to the male child." This is referring to the nation of Israel. It says, "He was enraged at the woman and went off to make war against the rest of her offspring and those who obey God's commandments and hold to the testimony of Jesus." Everything about Satan hates Israel and hates anyone who holds to the testimony of Jesus. Now, this is just something that you have to realize. Sometimes you and I think that Israel's place in this world and the hatred that it faces with other nations is just, well, maybe they deserve it, maybe, no. You have to understand the hatred that Satan feels toward Israel and the hatred that he stirs up in the hearts of men for Israel is not a normal thing. This is a demonic spiritual force. Satan hates the people of Israel. So when you sit back and you look at things in the world today, just understand Israel is going to be hated because Satan is the god of this world. Just understand that Satan has a big mouth and talks 24/7 in the face of God, accusing us before the Father. But the sprinkled blood of Jesus speaks of a better testimony. And as you begin to do the work of God, he will fight back. But greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world.